Hello, my sewing friends. Here's my review of the Galaxy Tee from Pattern Scissors Cloth and the Vera Tee/top from Forget Me Not Patterns. I'm Jen, and this is the sewing room where all the magic happens, certainly all the sewing. And I wanted to share with you my thoughts on the Galaxy Tee and also the Vera top. This one is from Pattern Scissors Cloth, and this one's from Forget Me Not Patterns. So let me start with this one. This is the Vera top. You have a lot of variations with this little top. You can do a wide cuff, which is what I did here. It's just a straight sleeve that gathers down into the cuff. Or you can do just a band. It's more like a balloon sleeve with a narrow cuff, or even just a band at the bottom. Or you can do the long sleeve with a flared hem. So you just basically don't gather it, you just hem it. So all of those are great variations on the sleeve. They're all long sleeves, but I'm sure that you could make them short sleeves if you knew how to do that, if you wanted to cut them off and just do it that way. It has a V neckline, and I gotta tell you, I loved the way they did this neckline. Essentially, the ends of the neckline come together here at this point, and you stitch them together, but they are cut kind of like the ends of a ribbon. So they come down, and then they're cut with a triangle cut out of the middle, so you have the two ends, and you sew those together, and that forms the perfect V to put it in there on the neckline. And you can see how smooth this is. I don't get things this smooth a lot of times, so I'm just really impressed with it, the way that came out. The instructions are like the Big Four but better. You have the same format where you have instructions and then like refer to this picture, so they're all hand-drawn pictures, or whatever, but they're just really easy to follow. And it could be that it's a simpler pattern, it could be that it's better done, I don't know, but it was really easy to follow and very clear instructions. You do put the sleeves on flat, which basically means that you don't sew up the side seam before putting it into the armhole. You lay it out flat, and then you put the sleeve in that way. And I think actually on a knit it gives you a better I don't know, just a better finish. You can tell. It's actually, as I look at this, it's a really nice top. It's really nice. But I made a size 38, which the finished garment measurements give you a 36 5/8 inch bust line. So it's only 36 inches and 5/8 across here. So there's 2 inches of negative ease. And I should have accounted for that. I thought it would be okay. My bust line measures 39 inches, and the size 38 is a 38.5 inch bust. I thought, okay, well, that's probably going to be fine. No, it wasn't. And you have 1/4 inch seam allowances on this, which I didn't like, and I have since traced it off and added more like a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, so that I know that I will get it right and have some more room to work with it in the future. But because of that, and because this fabric that I used was it's pretty sheer, it's just a polyester knit, it's an offcut from Walmart, and I like the fabric, but because it's tight with those 2 inches of negative ease, it just is too small. And so I'm going to go ahead and give this to one of my girls, probably Mia, because she would wear this really nicely. It would look great on her. I think I did add a little bit to the sleeve, which I need to do anyway. That's just a common adjustment for me. But yeah, if you're going to use this pattern, or if you're going to pick it up and make it, be aware that there is negative ease through the bust line. So it's made to fit tight. And if you don't want that, you need to size up according to the measurements that you want for a finished garment measurements. And then pay attention too, because you want to account for the waistline. You don't want to get it too big. So yeah, just be aware. I think it's a great pattern, and I'm planning to make it again. I don't know when, but I do need a black t-shirt. So I also need a navy one, so I may make this up in navy, and I may just hack it so that I have more of a just a shorter sleeve. I love that neckline. Love that neckline. So that is the Vera top. The Galaxy. That's this one. I did this in another Walmart offcut, which is this is like a slinky jersey. I think it's an ITY, but I always say that and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But it is a puff sleeve with a band. So you gather the sleeve into the sleeve cap and then you gather it into the band. And this is very comfortable. There's plenty of ease here, which I really like. It does come up a little bit high, but I thought it was going to be too high, but it's not at all. It's just a little jewel neck, which I really like. The measurements are all in metric, which I didn't find to be a problem. Even though I live in the US and we use imperial, it was okay because I have a tape measure that's in metric, so it's fine. It has great instructions. I was really impressed with the instructions for this. A little kind of a step up from these instructions. It's not like Big Four instructions at all. Very clear drawings and very clear instructions. I mean, this is a hard thing to mess up, to be honest. They have finished garment measurements, but they also have a diagram. It's a drawing of like a line drawing, but then they have arrows showing you where those finished garment measurements are coming from. So if you don't know what a finished bust measurement is, it gives you an arrow showing you that it's across here and the top to bottom and then the sleeve and the whole thing. It's got all those measurements and they're very clear. And I really liked that. I thought that's helpful. If I didn't know what I was doing, this would really help me out. It has a gauge for the stretch. You know how on the back of some Big Four patterns, it'll have this, I think it's called the pick and knit rule, something like that. But basically, you lay the knit down and then you stretch it to see if it's got enough stretch. And I liked that too. I thought that was a nice touch, so that you are sure that you're using a fabric with the right amount of stretch. This has a great fit. I am so pleased with the fit. On the bottom, I took it in, and I'll probably take it in again because my hips tend to be more narrow and I end up having it really loose at the bottom, and I'm not wild about that. I like for my t-shirts to fit a little more closely on my hips. So yeah, I tend to want to take them in. So I did that on this. Let's see what else. This has a puff sleeve. So what I did, because this is a slinky knit and it didn't really lend itself to a puffy sleeve, but I'd already cut it out and I thought, oh, that's right. I should have used a more stable knit. This turned out fine. It was fine. I just stabilized the top of the sleeve head with some fusible interfacing, just a strip of it, to kind of just give it a little bit of body there. And it doesn't really make it stand up and be puffy at all, but that's okay. I mean, I think if I had a more stable knit, it would, but it's fine the way it is. I'm happy with it. If you are a beginner, this is a good skill to learn, with the gathering of a sleeve into the sleeve head and then also the gathering into a band. It's just good practice, just good stuff to learn. I had one problem with this pattern, and it was that you had to use an A4 layout or A4 paper. And my printer didn't recognize A4. And I thought, well, it's not a big deal because, US letter size paper is the same sort of thing. It's slightly different, but not much. Well, it was different enough that when I went to line these pages of this PDF up, I couldn't get it to work. It was like, what is going on here? I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong because the lines for the sizes just would not match up. And I thought, I printed it again and that didn't work, and so it just frustrated me. And so I ended up just kind of winging it. I just kind of drew a line where I thought it should be. So I did email the folks at Pattern Scissors Cloth, and I let them know that. So I don't know that that'll make any difference, because essentially this is a UK company, and that's fine. I mean, they do everything with metric, and I'm good with that. So I had to make that adjustment, but beyond that it was fine. And I trace off all my PDF patterns because I want to be able to put them into an envelope like this. But be aware, if you are here in the US and you go to print this thing, you're going to have a little bit of trouble depending on what size you're trying to cut. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I have a lot of praise for both these patterns. For one thing, they're free, which is amazing, because for as well drafted as they are, I think this tells me a lot about this company and that company. And I already knew Forget Me Not was good, but yeah, I would not hesitate to buy another PDF pattern from either of these two companies. And yeah, I'm just impressed pretty much with the construction, the instructions, the way it all came together, short of the whole negative ease thing, which really was my fault. I should have been paying better attention to that. And then the problems I ran into with cutting this out, it was not a big deal. Those were, very, very slight little problems. So if you want to give these a try, I would strongly encourage you to do that. I'm going to make another one of each of these. I need another blue t-shirt, like a navy blue t-shirt, and a black t-shirt. So, one will be blue and one will be black. I haven't decided which yet, but yeah, I think, worth a try. So tell me what you think. If you've made these or if you plan to, you can't beat free. So yeah, let me know what you think. We'll talk about it in comments, and that's it for now for me. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.